The 417 Gamers is a group of board, tabletop, and card gamers in the 417 area code. This is the podcast.
Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast, episode 69, the one with hand management. In the four, Andrea and I talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. We talk High Society, 10-Gallon Tank, Aqua, Biodiversity in the Oceans, and A Feast for Odin. In the one topic of the show, we talk about hand management games, what we like, what we don't like. And thus, in the 7, we talk about 7 of our favorite hand management games. In fact, we made 2 7s because Andrea and I play the crap out of 2-player games, so we talk about 7 of our favorite 2-player hand management games, as well as 7 of our favorite multiplayer hand management games. Without further ado, the 417 Gamer Podcast. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast. My name is Rick.
And I'm Andrea.
In the 4, we like to talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. Andrea, we played a reprint from All Play of it's a card game where you're betting, but it's kind of unorthodox. It's designed by Reiner Knizia, and like I said, the newest publisher is All Play Games. It is called High Society. What did you think of High Society?
Well, we've played it twice now, and the first time that we played it, we had a blast. Holy cow. I do think that this is one of those games that is very much dependent on who you play it with.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to outbid each other or trying to get someone to take a bad card and not lose your money. So there's a lot of player interaction. Not quite as much as with Bonanza, but a lot. So if you've got a lively group, this is a great game.
Yeah. High Society is an auction game where the players start out as members of High Society.
Fancy.
You have a hand of number cards that range from 1 to 25, but not all those numbers are there. They kind of have gaps. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, gap 6, gap 8, gap 10, 15, 20, and 25 if I remember right. There might be like a few other numbers in there. But whenever you're doing the auction, you play one of the number cards out, and then everybody has to bid higher than you or pass. When it comes back to you, if you want to stay in, you have to leave your number card out and you have to add another card to it. If you win the bid, your number cards are gone. So those are now numbers you cannot use. So if you're trying to bid in increments, if you get rid of your 1s, your 2s, your 3s, it makes really hard for you to not jump the bid higher than you really need to.
And it's really hard because if you bid 2 and somebody bids 4 and you want to bid 5, you can't pick up your 2 and put down a 5. You have to add a 3 to your 2 or something else. And sometimes the cards you have left in your hand, because once you buy something, your cards are gone.
Yeah.
You might only have an 18 left, and you might have to jump your bid from 2 to 18, because that's all you have left to choose.
And you're bidding on things of prestige, like luxurious jewelry, sporting events, fine art. Fine art is only a 1. Real estate was the 10.
Yes.
Sporting cars and luxurious cars, those were like a 9. So you bid on them and to add to your own prestige as a member of High Society. At the end of the game, whoever has the least amount of money left in their hand, they are kicked out of your club. They are a poor, and they are no longer part of High Society.
No, Paul can't be there.
But whoever has the most prestigious amount of things wins. Now, I really like this game. It's very thin. That's the mechanic. It's an auction.
Right. But there's a couple wrinkles in there because there's some scandals.
Oh, yeah. Scandals are nice because you're bidding to not take them.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever passes first gets to take their money back, but they take the scandal, which could be losing half of their points, could be losing one of their luxury cards, could be losing 5 prestige. Whatever you did, people dislike you 5 points less. But everybody else that bid, they lose their money.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of those come out where everybody was just it was a huge game of chicken. Like, who's going to chicken out first? But that person, depending on how big the bid got, they actually might have won. Because if you strangle everybody else's money out... No, I liked it. It's kind of thin on mechanics. We'll definitely play it again. But I would put this in more of the party realm of games because there is just the one mechanic.
Right.
And if we brought it out every Thursday, I know I would get tired of it, and I think other people would too.
Well, it's a very quick game. It goes by in like maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Very much like a point salad type of level game. But like I said, it's that game of chicken player interaction that just really gives this game a great spin.
So this is a game, the next game we're going to talk about is a game you picked up at Geekway. It was in the discount bin at the miniature market, but it's kind of a theme that... it's your hobby in our house.
It is. I have several aquariums. I'm very much into the fish keeping hobby, and it was called 10-Gallon Tank, and I was like, yes, I will take this. Thank you.
This is published by Winsmith Games. It's designed by David Smith. In this, you are a hobby aquarist. Surprise, surprise, that's you.
It is.
You're going to... It's one of those I split, you choose. You have the grid of cards. I think it was like a 4x4 grid. And the first player has to split. And then the next player has to split again. And after you've split, depending on how many players, is how many splits you have to do of the cards. And then you go around and picking the splits. And you're trying to fill your aquarium with various fish. Some, as with different fish, the ones that school will score better if you have them in like pairs or sets. There are some fish like the Chinese, the betas, the Chinese fighting fish.
Yes.
If you have one, you're good. But if you have multiple, they's
bad.
They don't want to be next to each other.
They fight.
Yep. So it was a cute little game. This one is also a little thin on... It's fun for a night. You throw it out there for like the icebreaker.
Yeah.
I think it's great for that.
And it's great for someone like me who likes to look at the art on the cards and likes to school my fish together. So
this one you have not played yet. This is A Feast for Odin, is what we're going to talk about next. Designed by Uwe Rosenberg. This is published by, I think the first U.S. publishing was by Z-Man Games. Mine was by Furlan Spiel. So A Feast for Odin is you have a Viking village that is very kind of sparsely decorated. You have a plot of land. You have like one little income of monies. You're going to get about 7 rounds to gather resources, build things, pillage things, hunt things, to adorn your board, to hopefully get some income and bonuses. At the end of each round, you have to feed your peoples. So that's where the hunting and the foraging come in. Because if you don't feed your peoples, you get a penalty. But this is known for the big board of a whole bunch of actions. This was the precursor to Newsford. This one came first, I think. I'm almost positive. Newsford's board of actions is a little easier to read because it's, I feel like, I don't know. At the 2-player game, we really liked it, but we both agreed that we wouldn't pick it out over other games in our collection.
Yeah.
So we floated it down after about 2 or 3 plays.
Right.
This one, I really want to get your opinion on it at 2, because I liked it. Ethan came over, one of our good friends. He helped me brush back up. There's some... I knew the general idea, but he helped me brush back up on a lot of the rules. Because they're just... It's an Uwe. Uwe's got a lot of little if and then statement type things you got to do. If you put this here, that happens. But before you do, you must have this ready to do this. Which is a lot of euros anyway, but the specifics, when you go in there, you have to remember it and also try and grasp the icons. Because he is, since he makes these Euro games that are friendly to other languages, very icon heavy game. It's worker placement. You're placing your workers, and you have 4 columns of actions to put your workers at. You have a 1 worker column, a 2 worker column, a 3 worker column, and a 4 worker column. The more guys you put out, the more powerful the action is, but that also means less actions you actually get to take in that round. So you have to weigh, do I want something awesome with 4 guys, or do I want to try and nickel and dime my way to get a whole bunch of stuff? But if you also, because you're each taking a turn in succession, if you do your little ones at a time, somebody else might take that really juicy action that maybe you find out that you needed. Thought it was fantastic. It also has the Tetris puzzle that you and I both like, because you're taking these adornments and you're putting them out on your field. You're decorating your village with your achievements, your pillage, and your plunder. Fun. I want to see what you think at a later time, so you might hear us talk about this on the podcast again when Andrea gets to play it. The last game I want to talk about is Aqua, Biodiversity in the Oceans. We actually talked about this briefly at the Geekway to the West either last year or the year before. It was in the 7 games we had played, so we kind of mentioned it off the cuff and left.
It was in the Play to Win library, and we played it. We did not win it, but we played it.
Yeah, it's a very pretty game. It's designed by Dan Halstad and Tristan Halstad. It's published by the USAopoly. In Aqua, Biodiversity in the Oceans, it's a hexagonal tile placement game. On your turn, you will take a hexagonal tile that has various colors on it, like yellow, pink, green, blue, purple, and you place them on tiles you already have. You have 1 tile that you start with, and as you're going, you're trying to make hexagon shapes. When you make a hexagon shape of a color, there is a row of various animal creatures that you can attract to your Aqua Biodiversity habitat. So, like, the animals, I think, are randomized for their color of piece that comes out. So you might have clownfish out there, you might have lobsters, you might have sea urchins, stuff like that, sea turtles. As you put them on there, if you can get multiple animals touching, you have predators that can then go on them. You might have an octopus that covers 2 animals. And these predators or bigger animals have certain shapes. So you don't just need to put your little animals down. They also need to be in a shape, because like the mako shark is in a straight line. But the whale is in a grouping of like 4 animals, and they have to kind of be in a star shape. But Ben, who comes on our year in review at the start of every year, he brought this one night, and you were playing a game that you're going to talk about next episode. So I got to sit down, played this. I had a good time, and if it's offered again, I will absolutely play it again. But I think we got what we needed out of it when we played it at Geekway.
It is beautiful to look at, and would you call it a family weight game?
I think it's about family weight game or next step. If the person in the family is a gamer and can teach it, I think it goes fine.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't give it as a gift to a family that I'm trying to coax into the gaming hobby.
Just a little bit too much for that.
Yeah, I agree. But we also agreed that it's hexagonal tiles. You're trying to make an environment that Cascadia is better.
Well, this one goes out and up, so it adds another layer. Bum, ba, da, bum.
Yeah, I get that, but I also have to look at our capacity. You and I have both agreed that we're past capacity. We're heading into MoonCityCon. I hope you're there. We'll love to play some games if you're out there. But looking at our collection, we are probably, I would say at this point, 20 to 30 games above what we really should have in our collection.
Yeah, they're overflowing onto the floor into the next room.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, we won't just pretend earmuffs.
Yeah. No, we hit the summer. We had projects we're trying to get done. We have a bathroom we're remodeling. That's summertime talk. We'll talk summertime in the next episode.
Yeah.
You know what? This episode is about hand management. So why don't we go into the one
Topic of the show.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you're listening to this episode, MoonCityCon is this Friday. So if you have not gotten your badge and you are listening to this in a timely fashion, go to mooncitycon.com and get your badge. There's prizes. Everybody's going to walk away with the game because of how hard Catherine has worked her magic with our prize support and our vendors and our sponsors. That's the word. We are having an auction benefiting our local chapter of Boys and Girls Club. So if you go to MoonCityCon, look at all the nice auction items. Andrea and I have put our copy of Shackleton Base and its expansion. And we have put in our Kickstarter copy of Holiday Hills. There is a tricked out copy of Concordia, Posthuman. Ben put up some magic cards. He says they're worth something. I don't know. I don't magic. I don't know. But get your badge at MoonCityCon. Come out, have a fun time. Play some games. Say hi to us. Maybe we'll get to play a game with you. I know we'll be busy, but we're going to sit down and play some games with some friends, with some listeners, with some convention goers. But until then, why don't we go on to the topic of the show? The one topic of the show, we are talking hand management games. BGG defines hand management games as games where players have a hand of cards, dominoes, tiles, or etc., from which they select which ones to play. The game rewards players for playing the cards in certain sequences or groups. The optimal sequencing, grouping, or such may vary depending on board position, cards held, and cards played by opponents. Managing your hand means gaining the most value of the available cards or tiles under given circumstances. Cards often have multiple uses in the game, further obfuscating an optimal sequence. Trick-taking, of course, is a special form of hand management, but games that implement it should be tagged only with that mechanic. Hand management has no relationship to action or dexterity games. I disagree.
Do you?
Yeah, Rhino Hero. You got a little hand management in there. You got certain times when you play those cards to build the roofs. It's it's a kid game, and I wouldn't put it near our top list of hand management games, but there's little hand management you got to do in there.
Yeah, well, there could be a game that has hand management as a mechanic, but it's not the theme of the game.
Right. Do you have any qualms or disagreements with that definition?
I didn't understand most of those words.
Well,
I just call it have cards, will play.
Yeah, that is. Do you enjoy hand management games?
I do. There are several of our games that have a large hand management aspect that are our favorite games of all time.
Yep.
Which we talk about to death, so we have purposefully left those off of our list today because we wanted to talk about some others that don't always get the spotlight.
Let's talk about them right now. Ark Nova is one of our favorite games, period.
Ark Nova, Concordia,
and Terraforming Mars. Those
yes.
are 3 games that will not be on the list because we've been doing this podcast going on 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years in this October. And I have Concordia'd the crap out of people. At this point, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know it's my favorite game. It has not been unseated. I felt there for a minute that maybe it might be unseated. And then I played that one night where I played 2 games side by side. I'm like, nah.
No,
it's still my favorite.
Still there.
And then I tried to lie to myself that I wasn't going to kickstart that Awaken Realms big, huge, grandiose production. I was like, nah, I don't need it. I don't need it. And on the last week, I got paid that week. I was like, I don't need it.
But I'm going to get it.
But I'm going to get it. I did get it.
And even Terraforming Mars, we still played it this week. We played a 2-player game.
We
just
included
the
Prelude expansion, which we have a couple expansions that we're going to talk about here, not next episode, but the episode after. So look forward to that. We've played the Sharks and Reefs expansion for Finspan. We played this Prelude 2. We've got the Hummingbird expansion for Wingspan. We're probably going to get to the table after MoonCityCon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one other expansion that was right there that we were going to play. Anyway.
Sorry, our brains are fried. MoonCityCon is next weekend, and we have been burning the candle at both ends to get ready.
I'm staring at stacks of tubs and boxes where all of my games have been packed.
Yes.
We are 95% packed.
Yes.
I found most of the games. There's one or two stragglers that I can't find, and I'm not convinced that maybe I didn't sell them at the last flea market at Metagames. I've got to take one more sweep, and then I'll be for sure that yep or nope.
But there's I'm looking at a couple hand management games in this pile.
Yes. So, I enjoy hand management. I like trying to find the perfect use for the cards. One of the hand management that actually won't be on the next list, spoilers, whatever, Bruges. It's multi-use cards. You have to decide if you're going to put them down as a house or use them as a people's, and when you're going to play them, or use them to put down canal pieces, or use them to get rid of your threats if maybe you're about to hit a flood or the pestilence is the rats are going to overtake your peoples. I really like the hand management in that. In those style games where there's multi-use cards, there's a designer named Carl Chuduk. He's really good at the multi-use cards. Like, Catherine's, one of her favorite games is Glory to Row. And it's absolutely these cards that you can use them as many different things, but trying to use them perfectly to get the best little engine going.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing I do like with hand management is I like them inside of a bigger game to try and trigger discounts or an engine to, this makes this, that makes that turns these resources into points.
Yeah.
Because I like points.
And I think I like hand management games because that's kind of, before we got together and we started playing a lot of board games, the majority of the games that we played were things like hearts, spades, rummy, just card games, 5 crowns. That's hand management.
Yes.
And
while BGG say trick taking should be considered separate, I disagree. And I think it's for BGG because if trick taking didn't have its own separate category, hand management would have like 80-90% of the games on there.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have 2 cards in your hand that you have to manage at some point? Hand management. Hearts, hand management.
Yeah.
Gin rummy, hand management.
Right.
But to me, I agree. Playing rummy with my grandma, who was a stickler for the way she taught her rules and the way you had to play, if I could play even just a few cards out, I was very happy with the way I
managed your hand?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there anything you don't like about hand management or something you don't like that some games do about their hand management?
I would say that the thing I struggle with most is holding my cards in a way that no one else can see them. Because I'm really bad about talking and using my hands and flashing my stuff to everybody.
Don't be flashing your stuff.
I know. I try not to. It just happens.
Yep.
But I do really have to struggle with holding my cards in a way that I don't show everybody what's in my hand. And I also don't necessarily like those, I don't know what you call them. They're the board with the slots where it holds your cards for you.
Like card racks?
Yeah, is that what it's called, a card rack?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's hard to organize them in a way that I like. I like the feel of them in my hand. I just need to be more careful about how I hold them. Plus, it is hard if your cards aren't sleeved. I am bad about bending them, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. We're sleeving more and more of our games because we are playing more and more of our games.
Yeah.
And there are some games that have great production, and no matter how long you hold your card, that the art will maintain itself for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then we've played some games that after 2 plays, you can see some of the art has faded a little bit. And you're like, really? That's 2 plays. And I can already see, like, that first edition of Scout. After we played it, we could see nicks on the edges of the cards. Same thing with Diamonds. I have my first copy of Diamonds that has marked cards, and I used to be able to know which of the cards. I'm like, oh, I know he's got the... And I felt bad, so I ended up getting me another copy.
Right.
Because it's hard for my brain that I've taught this game so many times, because Diamonds is fantastic. It's trick-taking. But... And the funny part is, BGG says it shouldn't be considered under your hand management. And I don't think we put any of the trick-taking games on our hand management
We did
list.
not, but we are talking about them because...
There might be one. But for the most part, we try to avoid it.
Right.
Because maybe we agree that, yeah, trick-taking is technically hand management.
Yeah.
But trick-taking should have its own episode.
And it will.
Will it?
I guarantee it.
You guarantee it? Wow. It's a bold guarantee.
It is. But we would highly encourage all of our listeners to sleeve your cards.
Yeah, we're sleeving more and more. And I went from, hey, a sleeve's a sleeve, to where I'm picky.
You are getting picky on your sleeves.
Yeah. The Dragon Shield that have a box. Because there was the brand board game sleeves. They came in a box, and that box would sleeve you put your sleeve cards back in the box and put that in your board game box. And like, that's awesome. That's great. I don't have to use the Hugo's Magic Tape, which does work. But I was going through rolls of that stuff, and whenever Hugo's Magic Tape would go out of stock, it would be months before it would come back in and I could get another roll. And I don't want to have tons of rolls, because that felt terrible. But
I will say that I do enjoy a good shuffle of unsleeved cards.
a good riffle shuffle.
Oh, a riffle shuffle. That feels right. That sounds, that's real good to shuffle. And it is very difficult to shuffle a sleeved deck. It just is.
I disagree.
You do?
Yes. So Ethan showed me the trick about putting the corner of one. When you split your deck, you put the corner of one into the side of the other. Slowly push. Let the other deck widen, and you just push them together. And then you do that over under to reorganize their order a little bit.
All right.
And do it a couple times. Once you've learned it that way, I still think the riffle shuffle is easier because I've done it since I was a kid.
Right.
But shuffling with the sleeves, it gets easier and easier, and I know I'm not damaging the cards that way.
Right. I guess I just need more practice then.
So going back to what you don't like about hand management, the one thing I don't like, and I don't know how to fix it, is drafting games that are deeper in strategy. You always have that beginner player not knowing the cards they have, giving the game away.
Yeah.
In a 3-player game, it's not so bad because you have 2 players that are getting cards from that beginner back and forth. In a 4-player game, whoever's sitting opposite of that newbie, they are not getting any of those cards. They're hosed.
Yeah.
They are not winning that game. That's Let's Go to Japan. That's Blood Rage. If you're drafting Terraforming Mars, all those games, and there's not a solution except for get through that first game and play it again with them.
It's true.
So, as far as hand management games, we do enjoy them. Without further ado, why don't we go into the 7 and talk about 7 of our favorite hand management games?
I agree. Let's do it.
You're listening to the 417Gamer podcast. You can listen to us on Libsyn, Spotify, and over on the 417Gamer YouTube. If you'd like to contact the show, head over to facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network or leave a comment on the YouTube page. Now, on to the 7.
The 7 in the 417 Gamer podcast is 7 of our favorite hand management games. In fact, Andrea and I both made 2 lists. We made a list of our favorite 2-player hand management games, or games with hand management, I should say, and 7 of our favorite multiplayer games that have hand management. Number 7, Andrea, you want to start us off?
Multiplayer game
Sure.
would be Let's Go to Japan.
Yeah, so Let's Go to Japan is published by AEG Games and designed by Josh Wood. It is a drafting game where you're drafting cards that have things to do in Japan and either in Tokyo or Kyoto. You have to have gain along your way travel tickets to be able to travel back and forth to the towns if you're going to do things. But it's visiting shrines, going and seeing a geisha show, seeing a sumo match, taking in a sporting event, seeing popular landmarks. We really enjoyed it, and Ben Gutowski is the one that introduced us to that one. Number 7 in the 2-player games is Star Realms. This is released by Wise Wizard Games and developed by Darwin Castle. What do you think about Star Realms, Andrea?
I think it was one of the first hand management games that you taught me. It's just a quick little, what do you call that mechanic where you draw, play, discard?
A deck builder.
Deck builder.
But I call it so your general deck building rule is your ABCD. A, action, B, buy, C, clean up, D, draw your next hand. But you absolutely have timing mechanisms when you're playing your cards that you need to play this before that, buy this, attack that. But
we also, now, regular Star Realms is a 2-player game, but there is another version that is a Star Trek version that allows you to play more than 2-player, which we play with my brother quite often because he loves Star Trek and he knows all the ships and all the names of all the ships and what they do.
Yep. Which makes it to where he wants to play that game with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not the biggest board gamer, but he wants to hang out with us and have a good time, and we have a few games, Marvel Splendor being one, and now that Star Realm Star Trek.
Yeah.
The next 2-player game we're going to talk about is Unmatched. Unmatched is... Oh, I just lost it. I had it. It is designed by Rob Davio and Justin D. Jacobson. It is published by Renegade Games.
Now, there are many versions of Unmatched.
Yes.
You can mix and match them depending on who's your favorite character. One of my favorite versions is the Jurassic Park.
There's 2 of them, though.
Yes, I know. I believe Sadler versus the T-Rex.
Yep.
That was really good. I think that was the most fun that we've had playing. I like to be the dinosaur.
You do. Engine versus Raptors is good too.
Yeah, but I like being the T-Rex.
The next multiplayer game, or number 6, is going to be Fantasy Realms. This is designed by Bruce Glasgow and published by WizKids Games.
Now, Fantasy Realms is another game that there's multiple versions. We have both. We have Fantasy Realms, and then we have Marvel Remix, which is just Fantasy Realms with the Marvel characters. But Fantasy Realms has all the fantasy characters. It has unicorns and liches and wizards and armies and,
undeads, and then locations like the Bell Tower and Castle and Dark Cave, Swamp.
And I don't know if you could get a game that's more hand management than this, because the text on the cards, unless we're talking Magic the Gathering, because the text on these cards say things like, the text on this card is wiped unless it's with an army and a weapon, or this card is worth this many points unless you have this card, then it's worth double points. So you're absolutely picking up and discarding, trying to make the best possible combination of cards you can.
So it's hand. You're building a hand but it's also hand management because you technically don't. Your hand doesn't get any bigger. It starts at either 7 or 8 cards, depending on if you have the base game or the expansion, and it stays that way unless you have one of the cards at the very end of the game that allows you to add one more card to your hand. You are drawing a card and discarding a card every turn until the game's over.
Yeah.
Our number 5 multiplayer game is Obsession. This is designed by Dan Halligan and published by Kayenta Games.
It was introduced to our friends Ben and Leander, who are literally obsessed with Obsession.
Yeah, they are.
Rick calls it the Downton Abbey board game.
I do.
Which he's not really wrong, because you have to manage your hand by playing out your characters in a way that, like, if you have the princess dowager, it must be accompanied by a lady's maid, or if you are taking the men to the shooting club, they must have an under-butler with them.
Not the shooting club.
So you must have the proper character combos to be able to play to take an action.
Yep. And playing those characters to the right locations at the right time and in the right order is important, because you have some of your guests that are coming in there to provide you with more prestige, so you can do bigger and better things. And some of them are just flat there so they can give you money.
That's right. And you need money to buy the things.
You sure do. Our number 5 in the 2-player game is Jaipur. This is designed by Sebastian Ponchon, and this is published by... who is publishing this? GameWorks and Space Cowboys.
This is an older game, isn't it?
It sure is. It came out in 2009. We have the newer publishing. Man, words not hard, or not easy. Very hard for me today.
Very hard.
So in this game, you
Good
are...
thing we're not doing a podcast.
That's right. In this game, you're trading and selling goods to become the most wealthy merchant. It's a short game, and in fact, the rules recommend you playing the best of 3. Playing the first person to win 2 games. But you're trading in goods over here, or you're picking up all the camels to then trade those camels in to get some more goods. It's fun, it's cute, it plays quick.
And we will play this because it's very tight game. Like, you might win by 1, and then I'm like, let's go again, and I win by 2. You know, we're very well matched.
Yep. And each time I've thought about maybe culling this from our collection, we end up playing again and putting it right back on the shelf.
It's a small box game, so it's easy to keep.
It is.
Speaking of small box games.
Yeah, number 4.
Scout.
Scout is a multiplayer game that is a card-shedding hand management game designed by Kai Kanjino and published by Oink Games. The theme is kind of there. You're in a circus. Your cards they have 2 numbers on them. And that's basically your performer. They have one thing they do better than the other. So Susan might be on stilts, and she might be a 3. But when she's being shot out of the cannon, she's a 9 or a 10 or whatever. So whenever you're dealt your hand, you cannot reorder it. But you can flip the whole thing. If you don't like the way it starts, from then on the hand stays that way. When you play cards, they must be adjacent to each other, and you're playing sets and or runs. When you play, the next player has to try and play better than what you have, either higher value or more cards, and they take your cards as a trick. This, I think, is our only trick-taking game that's on here, but we were like, it's kind of a trick-taking game, but it's more card-shedding.
Not, yeah.
And you absolutely have to manage that hand, which might be fudging BGG's, description of it, but... So, really like this. We play the crap out of it. Number 4 is 4, right?
That was number 4 in the multiplayer game. Number 4 of the 2-player games is Star Wars Battle of Hoth.
Yes, I love my Memoir 44, and you will play Memoir 44 with me, but we both prefer it when we play the big player count, when we do the Overlord.
Yeah.
But for a 2-player game, for us to sit down, you grew up with your brother watching all of the Star Wars and the Star Treks.
Yes.
So Battle of Hoth is a little more palatable for you.
And the minis in this game are great.
Yeah, they are.
They look and feel wonderful.
This is designed by Richard Borg and Adrian Martineau. This is published by Days of Wonder Games. Where are we going next?
Number 3 of the 2-player games is Lost Cities.
Yeah. So, Lost Cities is, I think, designed by Rainer Knizia, if my phone will work with me. It sure is. It is published by Cosmos Games. In Lost Cities, you have a board that, in the base game, it has 5 expeditions you can go on. If you get the expansion or the new version, it already has the 6 built in. Mm-hmm. Each of the expeditions is basically just a color. You have the red, where the volcanoes are. You have the white, which is like the snowy Himalayas. The green is the jungle area. Blue is the barrier reef. Black is, I don't know.
The dark.
Yellow is the desert and the pyramids. All these cards that would go, you'll play to piles in front of one of these places on the board. The cards are number sequence from 1 to 10. Once you play a card down, you cannot play anything lower. You always have to play higher. On top of that, there are these handshake cards that help double your score. So at the end of the game, each expedition you are able to play to, you subtract 20 from that score, period. And then whatever you make in excess of, that's actually your score.
Right.
Or if you didn't make in excess of 20, that's how much points you get.
Negative.
Yep. It's a tight game, especially once both players know. Mm-hmm. The first time you teach somebody, you're going to kick their butt. Because you know what cards to look for. You know the way to manage your hand. See what I did there?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm doing the best I can. Fantastic little game. I don't ever see us getting rid of it.
And then the number 3 spot for our multiplayer game is Big Sur.
This is one you just latched onto. We played this at Geekway to the West. Alan selected a card game that we fell in love with, and you selected a card game that we fell in love with.
Yeah, it's another little box game. As you can tell from the title, it's the California coastline, and you're connecting your cards. The art on the cards connects to make the Pacific Coast Highway. Mm-hmm. And then there are scoring cards that go along with it. It's one of those, games where your cards on one side are the artwork that you're connecting, and on the other side is the resources you need to buy more cards.
Mm-hmm. So you have to decide, do you want to use that card as a resource or play it? Some cards will give you automatic resources on them. Mm-hmm. Some of them will give you extra scoring opportunities. And some of them are just big mileage cards, because the way you'll score it is at the top of your card. They have scenery. If you can connect 3 types of scenery that are next to each other, then you have a stretch of highway. Mm-hmm. And stretches are how you get points. And in a stretch, you add up the mileage of that stretch, and that's the points for that stretch.
And then there are bonus cards, which have powers. So for a cute little card game, there's a lot of teeth to it.
Yep. That is designed by Mondo Davis and published by 25th Century Games.
Number 2 for the multiplayer game, Forest Shuffle, one of our favorites.
Yep. Designed by Coach and published by Lookout Games. This and the next game that is going to be on the list were borderline. We talk about them a lot, but I don't think we've killed them like we have the Concordia, the Ark Nova, and the Terraforming Mars.
Yeah. Forest Shuffle, you're laying down your trees for your forest, and then you put animals on the tree above, below, left, and right. So you can have up to 4 cards connected to each tree. Now, there are some cards that will let you chain multiple cards on top of that, animals or insects that where you can stack them up. But you're filling out your forest, and this is a bit of a table hog for a card game Because if you've got down 10 trees and then 4 cards around each tree, it takes up a lot of space. But for a little card game, there's a whole lot of board game here.
And we expanded the crap out of this, and we do
Yeah.
love this game, but we put it out to rest because we were playing the absolute crap out of it.
All the time. We
All
took
the
it with us
time.
everywhere.
We did. So we put it on the back burner. I don't think we played it since the winter.
We haven't, but we've left it for a couple months and we have acquired a lot of new games.
We have.
But we're not getting rid of this one.
We are not.
We're just resting it.
Now, if they come out with a new version.
Or a new expansion.
No, I think we have enough expansions in that box.
Yeah, the box is full.
The box is absolutely full. And now it's like you shuffle up the cards and you pull out so many to play a 2-player game. You're like, man.
Plus, they are sleeved, so they
are.
take up extra room. But you kind of have to sleeve it for as much as...
As long as you're holding those hands and much you're playing them,
Yeah.
absolutely. Number 2 on the 2-player games.
Mandala.
So Mandala is is designed by Trevor Benjamin and Brett Gilbert, or it might be Brett Gibert. Published by Lookout Games. In Mandala, you are using these square cards to play out on this cloth board, and you have 2 mandalas on that you're building to. And once all 6 colors are on either mandala, you break apart that mandala and give cards, depending on how they're played, to the players that played to it. On your scoring sheet, the first time you incur a color, you put it on your sheet underneath that number. So is the first time I put red, let's say it's the very first card I get, I'm going to put that as a 1. And now every red card I get after that is worth 1 point. Let's say green is next. Now that one's under the 2. Every green card after that is worth 2 points. You have 6 possible cards, but when somebody plays that 6 down, that signals the end of the game.
Yeah.
Or if you play through the whole deck, that can signal the end of the game.
But we hardly ever get to the end of the deck. We usually end it by getting all 6 colors.
Yep.
And sometimes you'll rush the game and I don't have all my slots filled. And you usually beat me soundly in this game.
I usually beat you in the first game soundly. The next game, we're usually pretty close.
Yeah.
You beat me on one of them. But
I won once, guys.
This has the hand management. Surprise, surprise. But it also has the color recognition. My eyes look for color. And there's 6 colors, and as soon as I identify what colors are needed or are left,
No.
I automatically have that zeroed in, and I wait for you to play. Let's say we're at 4 colors. I wait for you to play the 5th so I can go ahead and play the 6th down and go ahead and get it destroyed.
But they are very pretty cards.
They're pretty cards. It's a pretty game. It's pretty, pretty, pretty.
Yeah.
The number 1 2-player game.
Trombone.
Trombone is a game that Jonathan Swadley and his significant other, Susan, recommended to me. And on the box, it doesn't look like a whole lot. It's designed by Helmut Oli. It's published by Lookout Games. And I understand why it might not have sold so well from the visuals. But as far as a gameplay, I think this sucker's fantastic. And I think I would rate it way higher than the 6 point. Well, I don't know. If you and I did our rating and actually scored this one, it might actually be a 6.9.
Yeah, because it doesn't have fantastic art.
It does not.
Doesn't have a like you said, no. There's no grand
theme is-
box. You know, you're just putting train cars together. And even Ticket to Ride has a better table presence because it's got the little train cars.
Yeah.
This is just cards. But man, we like it.
I would give it the full 10 on gameplay, the full 5.
Yeah. For a 2-player game, we're very well matched on this one.
Yeah.
And we pull it out all the time, even though it's not flashy. Great gameplay.
So you have 4 stations, a yellow, a blue, a brown, and a green. On your turn, you have to play a card to one of the stations. And if you ever play the fourth card to a station, it scores all of the train cars in that color. Then on either your side or your opponent's side, each one of you are building train lines of the colors. And if you have a blue card, yellow card, you start out with these train cars that only double your score. And then eventually, as the game goes on, you'll buy train cars that will triple and then eventually quadruple your score. So whenever you play those passengers out to the stations to score, it's that tension of like, oh man, if I score this now, you might score one more point than me, but if I wait too long, I don't have any more in my hand to build my score anymore.
And you don't know what I have.
I don't know what you have. Could you play a card out to your tableau to where you just kick my butt? Do I go ahead and score this and get it out of the way? Or do I wait and hopefully that I build something to where I could score better? This is one of my favorite 2-player games to play with you.
Yeah.
And like I said, I looked at the score and at first I was like, oh. But then I started looking, thinking in my head the way we score games whenever we review a game. Presentation, Components are nice. Good card quality. I like the art on the cards. It's it looks like Clemens Franz, and it looks like an earlier Clemens Franz game. But the box itself is kind of a bland green with cobblestones and a kid with a page boy running in front of a trolley car. Gameplay is magnificent. Theme is meh. It factor for me is magnificent.
Yeah.
So it factor in gameplay, I would give it high marks, and the other 3, I'd give it middling marks. So I understand why somebody would look at this game and pass it by. I would say if you see it, if you have a friend or a significant other that you play lots of 2-player games, and you like hand management, you like tableau building, I would say pick up Trombone, learn it, have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to our number 1 hand management game for multiple players.
Great Western Trail.
This is absolutely Ethan's fault. Because the first time I played Great Western Trail was at Geekway. It was a 4-player game. And the 4 of us were struggling to learn it. It was right when it came out, too. It was one of their hot games. It took us 5.5 hours to get through it. And I said, this game sucks. Then somebody else learned it and ironed out the rules. And maybe it was... I don't remember if the box we had, if that first edition rules wasn't great,
mm-hmm.
or the person that learned the rules. It could have been one of those times where long in the day, at the end of the day, you're just struggling to... Probably should have just ate dinner and then came back and played it. But played it again on another time. Once again, 4 players. That took 4.5 hours. And I'm like, no, I don't need to play this. It wasn't until I sat down and played a 3-player game with Ethan. And I'm like, oh, this is... No, it was Steve Bowen. I think it was Steve Bowen. It might have been Ethan also. We played 3 players. We got through, and I'm like, that was good. And like, yeah. And I told Ethan so vehemently, I will not play a 4-player Great Western Trail with you. But we've played 3 players so many times that I know what I'm looking for. I'm not good at building. Ethan kicks our tails at building stuff. But we've now played 4-player a couple times at our house. I told Ethan flat out, I will never play it. And then he whittled me down to where I'm like, all right, I'll play it as long as everybody knows it.
And now we own it.
We do own it.
Because I really like it.
Yeah, because it's cows.
Yeah, it's... The cows are the cards.
That you're managing.
And you're managing your herds, which are cards of cows.
So you're in Great Western Trail. You're herding your cattle, and I'm pretty sure they said this. It is designed by Alexander Pfister. Our copy was published by Capstone Games, but the original was published by Stronghold Games. Both are fantastic. Either way, you get it. Get it. If you can find the Stronghold Games, a lot of times you can find it on the discount. Absolutely scoop that sucker up. But otherwise, the Capstone Games version is beautiful too.
Yeah.
Anyway, on your turn, you're going to move your little cowboy various spaces, and you're going to interact with a building. In that building, a lot of times you're going to get rid of one of your cows to get some money or take an action. And on the backside of that building, you're going to take a different action. It might be getting more and new cattle. It might be hiring employees, more cowboys, or builders, or train engineers. Mm-hmm. Or it could be to...
Could be bandits.
It could be... You could be scooping up bandits, absolutely. Yep. Scooping up bandits gives you in-the-game points, it gets you monies, and it might satisfy bonus cards.
Yeah, gotta get them bandits before they get you.
But while you're playing those cards, you draw back up to your hand size. That's the deck buildery part, but the hand management part. When you finally get to Kansas City to send your cows on the train, you only get points for each unique cow that is in your hand. So that's why as you're going on the Great Western Trail, you are trying to get rid of these cows strategically so you can get value for them and not just get rid of them.
Yeah.
To get unique cows when you go to Kansas City so you can get the max value points out of them, get your monies, and then lay your claim of where you've sold your cattle in different cities. Because once you've sold cows to a city, for some reason they won't let you sell to them anymore. Except for New York City. New York City will let you sell all day long.
New York City.
And Kansas City will let you sell to them all day long. But Kansas City, you lose points each time you sell it to Kansas City. Like, oh, you got them to Kansas City? Big whoop.
Yeah, because they just get turned into Kansas City barbecue.
They do. So, yeah, in the one and right now, we'll say our favorites are absolutely Ark Nova, Terraforming Mars, Concordia. So if you're listening to our top 7 list and you're like, why are those not on there? We've talked about them ad nauseum. I love those games. She loves those games.
Yeah.
Well, she has to love those games in Concordia. That was part of her vows. Do you take this man in his Concordia? I do. But those are 7 games we absolutely recommend in both the 2-player and the multiplayer that has a hand management aspect that we very, very much enjoy. But that was episode 69 of the 417Gamer podcast. In the next episode, since we are pushed for time for MoonCityCon, we're going to talk about 4 more games that we've been playing recently. We're going to yammer and kind of riff on just summertime stuff we're doing. And if you don't like that one, go on to the 7, because we're going to talk about 7 of our favorite movies that we've watched this year. We got our Alamo Pass back. And we've watched quite a few films this year.
Had some good stuff.
Some good stuff, but there was also some stuff that we were struggling to remember. So some good stuff. So 2 great movies, I will say.
Amazing.
Some really good movies. And then a lot of stuff that I was like, does this deserve to be on the list? Maybe, maybe not. But
we did watch it.
Yep. But until next time, keep gaming.
In the 417.
And go to MoonCityCon. Go to MoonCityCon. Go to MoonCityCon.
Go, go, go. The 417 Gamer podcast is recorded and produced by Andrea and Rick Bagwell. The intro music we use, Kind, Gentle, Beautiful Person, and the outro music, Making Up for Lost Time, was created by Origami Reptica. For links to our show notes, the music, and guest links, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network. Until next time, keep gaming in the 417.
But until next time, keep gaming.
In the 417.
And go to MoonCityCon. Go to MoonCityCon. Go to MoonCityCon.
Go, go, go.